in the green room, hypothetically, once I get confirmation from
Anybody.
from people in the typing square.
Anybody.
We are rolling. Make sure it looks like everything's going cool. Yep. We know what we're doing. You've read it. You're probably from the Discord. But, obviously this is the green room, so we're doing nothing. Krista, you should be filling the dead air when I go silent.
I'm sorry. I was reloading the show. And
reloading this gun.
Joe says all good.
Nice. Great.
I'm not good at vamping when there's nobody else.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a problem because it's just going to be you and me. We're going to be talking about commercials.
Yeah.
Old ones.
First like older up, than me or like 90s?
70s and 80s is the first block.
Oh, jeez.
So, the thumbnails are daunting of this playlist that Joe has curated for us. So, I'm not sure what we're going to get.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Oh, man.
We'll see who shows up to the typing square. I don't know if we'll have moderator Kayla tonight.
This is kind of an impromptu thing, sort of fulfilling a request.
So nobody do anything suspicious in the chat because I am not a moderator, I don't think. I don't have a wrench next to my name, so.
I don't know how to do that, so.
Well, you did it with Kayla.
I'm playing the playlist in order, Joe. The order in which it was received. I guess I could mix it up if you wanted to, but some of these are huge blocks and some of these are really small chunks. So maybe we should do it random?
How long is it?
What do you mean? Playlist?
Yeah.
Very long.
76 hours. I'll see you all on the other side on Monday.
16 videos total. For probably, the better half of the rest of your life.
Okay. Well.
So if I put it on random, there's a good chance we'll land on something that's 45 minutes of whatever, and that'll be that. Or there's also clips on here that are 31 seconds. So, and then there are 15-minuters. So should we roll the dice? Should we do the random?
Anarchy in the typing square, says Dee Dee.
Oh, God, anarchy! Oh. We've been infiltrated by Skynet. Okay, yeah, I think I've talked myself into it. We'll do a shuffle type situation.
Shuffle it out, man. This whole show has been random from the get-go, so...
Yeah, so we're going with that theme, I guess.
No, I think I reordered them to better flow. Well, we're doing it random.
Oh, God damn it, Joe! The lag.
The 97-second lag.
You should be good with the playlist as is. Okay, so that's what we're doing. I guess. So what I was saying earlier that Joe has curated it is no bullshit. I thought I was just giving lip service, but he's done it. So here we
lip service.
Here we all are at the edge of infinity. Here we go.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Dave as usual, and this is another live episode of an FFOP thing, an extra or something. We're going to be watching the aforementioned in the green room, these video game commercials from back in the day. But okay, so here's the thing. If we're going to do it as curated, why not put some of the shorter ones up first then, Joe? Like, there's no way we're going to do, because here, sneak peek, 16-minute video, first one. Not a bad length. Next one, 41 minutes. 15, 17, 30, 14. Like, why not backload the big ones for later? So we'll see how much we get through. Because, this is, let's be real, this is like, seriously would take, the sun would rise before the end of this. Anyway, let me introduce Krista over there and fade in our commercials. There she is.
Here I am.
Doink.
I got a haircut.
She got a haircut, purpled it up.
I got purple.
So, here it is. It looks like, okay, so you can see there 16 minutes of Atari 2600 from the 70s and 80s. This is going to be a trip because I don't even remember video game commercials from when I was a kid. Like when my friends got video games, I was like, how did you hear about this? But the video games are all, or the commercials rather, were all on cable for the video games.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have cable. So bam. No commercials.
My cousins didn't have cable when we were growing up, and like
awful.
when they went to a house that had cable, they were just glued to
Like,
the TV.
Modern day, that's like a house with no internet.
Oh yeah, well that's exactly what it is. I
Living
mean,
in the fucking Stone Age. But
he says it should be. It's about 2 streams worth. He says the length of the whole video.
poof, we'll see how committed I am to this. Because I love 90s commercials. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about these.
I think my first experience, I think, with an Atari when I was growing up was my mom used to send me to the babysitters. It was my friend Zach, and he had one in like his carport garage, and we sat on these giant benches to play with this. I don't even probably
A joystick
Pong.
and a single button.
Yeah.
My grandpa had one for some reason in his 60s. He got an Atari. And the one game he got, E.T.
Oh no!
It's the only game I played until I got the NES in like 1992.
The only reason I know that is from Angry Video Game Nerd.
It lives up to it, believe you me. Woof.
Joe says you might want to make the video a little bigger.
I've got. Don't worry, Joe. I've got things covered. Don't you worry. Who runs the show here? Let's be honest. Me, this guy.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
worry.
not producing it, so it'll be better.
Yeah, Chris is not producing, so I've got some things planned. So let's buckle up and start watching some of these commercials. So first of all, I want to see if you guys can hear this okay.
I like the song.
Whoa! Where's E.T.? Show him E.T. That's what sold the system. This probably predates that, right?
50
Out of
bucks.
sight! Why don't they say that? What year is this? That's crazy. Whoa.
Wow. Sound is good, he says.
Okay. Oh, this is the original Mario Brothers. Oh man, this was like an extra on Super Mario Brothers, which was on the NES, obviously.
Right.
And like I had no context for it because that was when I jumped into video games. So I didn't know that this was not just a mini game inside the actual game. Oh crap, a real commercial.
Oh, there's ads.
Maybe I should get a YouTube Premium eventually or something. Okay, here we go.
If we hit 500 subscribers,
Yeah, give me 500 subscribers. It's Christmas. Video games love Christmas.
Well, yeah, that's the best marketing time.
Oh, look, the Atari's already right there. So what are they going to get? It's E.T. Oh, my God.
Oh. Yeah, it sounds like E.T.
That's, whoa. Do I remember this? This is triggering like a half memory. I feel like, because I saw E.T. a lot as a child. And obviously, my grandfather had E.T. on the Atari 2600. Right. So yeah, I must have seen this commercial.
Only from Atari. Made especially for systems from Atari.
In 6 fucking weeks. 6 small ass weeks.
Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, good luck.
Happy holidays from Atari.
Secretly, we're flipping the bird.
It's great in the arcade.
Oh, it sucks on 2600.
Watch the laser towers. Aim for the tops.
Joe's never seen E.T.
Coming too fast.
I've probably seen it once. Ever.
I don't know, man. E.T. was one of those ones that, like, you couldn't miss as a kid. Like, everybody's fucking favorite movie was E.T. And, you know, since it was... Pause this for a second. Oh, shit. The whole thing about that was, like... I don't know. Whatever. I don't need to digress into that. Let's go watch this.
Everybody thinks that Elliot's named after E.T.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't get mad over these huge movies that just miss people because, like, it comes down to literally months where you were born sometimes that you'll miss this huge cultural thing. So it's still wild to me, obviously, but I'm that way too. I've got
Well, and it's also your
holes
parents.
in my
parents probably didn't take me to the theater to see E.T.
Yeah, whatever they buy. That was the thing too. Like back in the day, we had VHS. And it was like a brand new thing because before that you couldn't own a video.
Yeah.
And so you could buy movies. And so if you were poor or didn't have parents who were invested in movies or whatever, you just sort of watched the same ones over and over and over again.
We probably had the VHS and we probably just never watched it. That was like, we had a lot of Disney movies, like the clamshell Disney movies, but
I remember as a child having so much furniture that was literally built to house VHS.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was insane. Like this huge entertainment system with these deep ass, because remember VHS is thick,
yeah.
deep ass pockets with these just VHS shaped
drawers. Yeah.
that were, wooden and obviously not bad looking, but it was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe, like, today you could store a terabyte behind your thumbnail, and we had to store 90 minutes of film footage.
Yep, in like
on
filing
something.
cabinet sized drawers.
Yeah. Oh my God. Something the size of a sub sandwich from Subway. 2 of them.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Anyway, back at it.
That she can play with.
Play Parker Brothers Q*bert on your Atari 2600
Q*bert.
for just $34.97.
Oh man, I miss Toys R Us.
$28.97.
I wanted my kids to have Toys R Us.
Also available for Atari 5200,
We had.
ColecoVision,
Did you have
and
KB
Intellivision.
Toys here?
Yeah, they were in the mall though. Toys R Us was the big ass standalone.
Yeah,
You'd
we
go
had,
on
like-
your birthday or whatever.
We had like one Toys R Us, and then the rest were like the KB Toys in the mall.
You're a gorilla being chased by wild warriors. You're playing Hamidar, the challenge
Oh,
of
what?
your own video
Ugh.
game. You've outsmarted the warriors and won.
This is weird. I can't believe like these commercials actually make the games look interesting, and I know for a fact that they're not because I have a lot of them on the Raspberry Pi, and it's like trying to learn Latin without a code-breaking book. It's crazy.
Ugh, remember that terrible system that I bought us?
Yeah, I remember that. A Chinese knockoff. Don't buy those, folks. They always turn out bad.
None of the games worked.
With RAM Plus, the Mega Charger Atari VCS for 3 times the
Wow, look, it's like 3D. I can't believe, like, it's amazing how, like, immersive they think it should feel, because, like, obviously, if you're looking at it as a CRT TV, like you see the wood around it. Like there's a definite layer between you. Maybe that was a thing. Like today's TVs. Let me pause this so I can yell a little bit. Today's TVs, their frames in our monitor, like the frames of them are getting smaller and smaller. Our phones are losing that bezel or whatever, that cutout. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to lose that barrier between it and reality, because back in the 80s, or like obviously before, when it was just like a radio, you were staring at a fucking stump with a hole in it with some glass, and then that persisted on for so long. There was like a hard wooden barrier between the reality that was TV and the reality that was everything else, and it was always wood or something. Like the 80s, sometimes it was a lot of aluminum, but it was always a huge board to let you know instinctively, yeah, like this is it. But I feel like maybe as that wanes, possibly leading to people getting obsessed with phones and stuff as a reality, because there's no hard edge anymore. It doesn't make you go
The only way there's a hard edge is if you put a case on it.
And even then, it's easy to overlook because they make them slimmer and slimmer.
Yeah.
Some crazy crackpot theory, possibly. Conspiracies at 8.
Atari would like to thank you for taking us into your homes. We wish you all a happy holiday.
Atari is when they started listening to us.
These are like really inviting commercials. Like the color palette is nice. It's very like, if you're into this color palette, obviously. The warmth of it, I love.
Well, then you must have Defender. Great game. Or a challenge like Star Race.
And the enthusiasm while they're trying to show you these images is fucking hilarious. It's like a bunch of blinking lights, and he's like, "Whoa! And look what's on screen."
An Atari system without those games? That's like having a stereo with no hit records.
He's right though.
The world's greatest arcade video games are
Is now the suckiest arcade Atari port. Oh God, what a disaster! Right? Everybody's seen those documentaries.
On an Atari home video game system, you'll see amazing graphics like this.
It's so crazy now that people, like, technology has progressed so far that people are replicating this, like, in software on something that's, again, like, fits behind your thumbnail.
Yeah.
And it would take up rooms. Look how big that fucking thing is. Like, in real life, it's huge, and the cartridges are huge. Oh, God dang
Every
it.
computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's,
Yeah.
your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey. Wait, Mom, before you check out...
Install Honey. I tried that.
Does it work?
Kinda.
The new Atari cartridge game is in.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh. George again.
Atari's
It comes with 27 games, but that's just for starters. You can get 9 cartridges.
It comes with 27 games?
But you can get cartridges.
Sorry, only our demonstrators left. No, George. Mine.
The new video computer system by Atari. More games.
It's amazing how it's being marketed to, like, literally everybody, like, of every age. Like, those dudes were old.
Yeah.
Well, I am a corporate executive.
He stops exciting.
Anybody can play Pong.
So what you doing?
Well, Muffy, Buffy, Biff Jr. and I are going on our Sunday
Oh,
drive.
God.
No, you're not. You're gonna play pole position.
You couldn't retake that?
Like, they're supposed to be super rich, and they're, like, driving in a Yugo? Like, no, sweaters and shit, then we zoom out, and there were $800 car. Yeah. Playing pole position on Atari is definitely just like Formula One racing, I can attest. Like, now as an adult having tried it, it'll knock your socks off. But, legitimately, if there's a commercial for frogs and flies, that game is awesome.
David's really good at it.
It's so fun. Like, the right gameplay mechanics are there for me personally, and I think they can hook you too. Oh, I love the songs. What? Could you imagine if they tried pulling this kind of shit today with video game commercials? Like, this is insane.
Games from Atari, the #1 video computer system with more games than any
Number
other.
one.
And here's the thing. In this commercial, what do you think the dad is saying? When he rolls up onto that TV and he's like, what do you think he's saying to those kids?
Well, kids, your mother burnt the turkey again.
No, they're like having a great time, and like everyone is just in
he's
love
like, hey,
in
we
the
gotta
house.
go get KFC because your mom burnt dinner.
KFC.
If you like Breakout, you'll love
Even
Super
Grandma loves
It's got more
Breakout.
color, more sound, and more action.
Good for all ages.
Back in her day, she broke out of jail for women's lib crimes.
I've been hearing the so-called sports expert talk about his realistic home video baseball.
Oh my
game.
God,
Well,
realistic.
I played real baseball. And I also played the new Atari Real Sports Baseball. I like it. Because I can sacrifice fly as well as steal, pick off runners. Hey, it's baseball like baseball should be played. And who are you going to listen to anyhow? That other guy who just talks baseball? Or a nice guy like me?
Who got paid to tell you that I like it.
Baseball, one in a series only from
He
Atari.
likes it.
Nice. Have you tried baseball on Atari? Unbelievable. They're so crazy.
We especially like Space Invaders. Zapping those little devils from outer space. It's fun. But personally, I think the whole idea of creatures from outer space is a little far-fetched.
It's so, now in hindsight, seeing that like this technology so weak compared to today, it was like adjusted for inflation, it would probably be like $200 a cartridge when the first like was big.
Right.
Oh my God.
The creepiest video game ever seen on the Atari 2600. Fighter by Activision. Use your bug blaster to fight off swarm after swarm of very spooky spiders.
Spooky spiders.
Yeah, realistic, I bet. Whoa, it's just like another like a centipede clone. Oh my God.
Spider Fighter, designed by Larry Miller for Activision.
Minnesota Fats.
You wanna play Berserk?
Oh yeah.
It's only on one side of my headphones.
Yeah, mine too.
I don't like it.
I think it was just recorded bad.
Oh.
Atari, I'm coming back inside.
This feels weird. I want to shake it in there.
Yeah.
And only the systems from Atari.
I hope that goes away.
2 more smash hits.
It's not a 2 more. Yeah, that was a weirdly recorded commercial.
Do you think that you could last?
Man, I used to play me some Centipede and all that shit too, man. Like, not just my grandfather had an Atari in my family. I also had like distant cousins I would see from now and again. And I would play the shit out of it every chance I got.
Centipede and Ms. Pac-Man only.
I don't know where my phone is, Joe.
It's probably in the living room.
Created the toughest game for Atari's video system.
Oh my God, these commercials! Like, look at these. These are original costumes. They must have cost an unbelievable amount for this. Look at what they're selling you. Oh my God.
Good work, Voltar. Demon Attack really is tough. A magic demon attack.
That way you don't have to watch real ads, only watch old ads.
Stalked, pursued, chased by a giant squid. You are
And also chased sexually, because no one will have sex with them.
Ugh.
Giant squids are ugly. Look at these goddamn... It's like, this is the original Echo the Dolphin, right? Oh my God, because you see like the puppet and the people reacting, and you go, oh my God, and then they show you the video game.
Designed by Matthew Hubbard for Activision.
Oh.
Matthew Hubbard.
Life has changed since the award-winning Frogger home video game became so popular.
This is a... Oh no, it's not a toad. Okay, just... The head was kind of shaped toad-like, and I need to see the feet.
Ribbit, because the better you are, Ribbit, the harder Frogger is to play. Oops. Ladies first.
I liked Frogger.
There was always, in my generation anyway, there was always Frogger, and there was always Pac-Man, and there was always, like, one of those 2 or 3, whatever mystery one, there was always a random one. Everywhere you went, like, we were always ice skating, and they would be, like, just scattered around the ice skating rink, and this is before, like, video games, and, like, arcades were even a thing. Like, I think the guy just, like, liked them.
We
The
had,
guy who owned it.
I used to go to the orthodontist when I was younger, needed all this mouth crap, but they always had the big Burger Time game.
Yeah.
I always played that game.
That game is hard.
Yes. Did not get far.
Well, Harry and I just grabbed the van, swung through the trees, and over the top.
This is pretty difficult too. If you play this, like, it's... I had the Super Pitfall also. Did not play much of this until latter day. But, oh yeah, these games, I felt like, maybe that's why video games kicked me. I felt like they were unreasonably hard for what I wanted them to be.
Yeah.
Other Avengers.
We'll get you back on the lunchbox.
Oh yeah. Look how round I am. Now let's see how I look on the TV. Oh God, he's a square. Look how big the health pellets are. Oh my God. That's so embarrassing. And then to have to be in the commercial to be like, yeah, oh boy. Ugh. That's another thing. Popeye was incredibly popular in video games for so long.
Joe says, I've read a book called 8-Bit Apocalypse that goes into the creation of Missile Command, as well as how Atari went from one of the biggest companies in the U.S. to bankruptcy in less than 10 years.
Yeah, it was a wild ride. But, it was the Wild West. It was like the early days of the internet. That was the early days of video games. You rode that thing and then...
Yeah, he said crazy stories of blatant mismanagement.
Yeah. But, you know, the money was flowing, so bureaucracy reigned and jobs were made and bloating.
It's only a game. River Raid for the Atari video computer system.
It's only
Why
a
would there
game.
be such a big room for such a small game? Whoa, it's the Green Goblin.
Ooh.
How long is he gonna hold that bomb? Oh, the fuse keeps getting longer, so that's okay.
Yeah.
The Goblin is accusing Spider-Man of running out of fluid.
Game from Parker Brothers, the ones to beat.
Oh God.
Star Trek, the game.
The next first generation. Oh, whoa, yeah, this came with the overlay and everything. Oh my God.
Engage.
It's so crazy. Like, I realized that they had to try and sell these things, and for whatever reason, they decided to push home that everything looks so real, even though it obviously didn't. But like, looking back now, you could say, whoa, look at this Aloy from What's Her Nuts. That, who's the redheaded chick from the game? Everybody knows. Like, that shit looks real as hell, but nobody says that shit. Like, we're right in the uncanny valley, and right now you could be totally saying, yeah, that looks real as hell. Nobody is making that claim because it's so apparent. You're looking at 8 pixels in the form of a squid, and they're like, oh my God, it's so real.
Wow.
When it's like, maybe this is like the first rumblings of gaslighting.
Oh.
Alternate reality.
Horizon.
Huh?
Horizon.
Horizon.
What's her name?
Oh yeah. Zero Dawn or something.
Yeah.
Aloy was the character's name. Oh man, who played pinball as a kid, right?
Yeah.
But not regular pinball, digital pinball on your DOS. Space pinball. Oh.
Space pinball. Yeah, it was on my gateway.
Yeah, but that was a new one.
That's all
I had a it was so crazy. We had a computer with the turbo button because it was only DOS. So to load something, you would have to put in the disk and type in the special command, and my dad would always have to do it. And then if you wanted to go easy on yourself, you'd unpush the turbo button and it would go nice and slow.
Oh.
And it worked on a bunch of games like that. But latter day pinball, like on Windows 95 or later, nah, I fell off already.
Mine was on 95, I think, because it was our gateway computer, and it was already preloaded on.
Yeah.
And I would get up at night and sneak, because the computer was in a different spare bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd go in there and turn the computer on and play. I would sit there in the dark playing pinball, and then I'd get caught because,
Yeah. But that was the thing. Like, there was always that fail-safe because I was from the era before that. So you had to put in the disk, boot it up, put in the specialty code, and it was like whatever run.exe. But, I was 8.
Right,
and that was the
know.
barrier. And I was like, locked out. This sucks.
Yeah.
Can't play Elmo.
Mine was on Windows XP.
There's
Okay.
another thing, Michael.
So now we're on the NES commercials.
Kids these days. Tetris, schmetris, all the time it's Tetris. they
My
want
favorite
to play.
game.
It's so crazy.
Not just in Russia. All over the world, it's Tetris. Whatever happened to unicycle and the ball?
This is a weird commercial.
Joe played a lot of pinball in school.
You get your hands on Konami's new video game.
Oh, for sure.
Starring me, that Rachel Cage.
Oh, bye, Billy.
For the first time ever, Konami combines hand-to-hand
This game
combat.
sucks. It is awful. I have tried so many times to play it. The controls are shit. It is just like the hit section is garbage. It is.
It all starts when I get out this here
sucks.
swamp. You really get me riled now.
Interesting commercial though. And Konami made it, which is weird. They usually made okay stuff back
the
then.
power is Nintendo. Defend the planet Cephas against the evil Mother Brain. It's survival or destruction.
Look out, it's a lady.
Metroid only from Nintendo.
Look out, sexual fetishes of the future.
It's turbo speed in 3D. It's treacherous tracks, hot cars, hairpin turns.
Hot cars, cool nights.
Hairpin turns.
Rad Racer only from Nintendo.
Sometimes you would get video games that would imply nudity back in the day. And those were always thrilling.
Boobs.
Yeah, because you would see the covers at least and see like that. I'm sure this is going to have a babe on the cover.
Wizards and Warriors continues with Iron Sword.
Oh no, it's
the evil
Fabio.
wizard Malkill will take the shape of the earth, wind, water, and fire. Farewell! The fate of the world is in your hands. Back by a beast!
Dad, that greasy guy's back in my closet.
Did you ever play Cruise in the USA on the 64?
Cruise?
I didn't have a 64. I had a PlayStation.
Oh yeah. That one had a babe on it. Like every time you'd win a race.
All the racing games, they would have a...
She'd like dance and she was all super pixelated and crappy looking.
Yeah, that's all you could get.
20 areas, 200 levels, even a two-player mode.
What is this?
Reach candy before something else does. Mendel Palace. By Hudson Soft.
At least.
Get the power to move with the Acclaim wireless remote for your Nintendo
Whoa!
Entertainment System. The
Those-
Acclaim remote gets you mobile in a
Let's be
WrestleMania grudge
real.
match.
Like, wireless controllers
Flying Arrow,
didn't
the
get
Acclaim
good
remote's
until
rapid
like
fire
the
mode needs higher
Wave.
store's permission.
Like, I never had success
In the
with any
battle for
wireless
Iron
controller
Sword,
until that generation.
So you need a controller with a look and feel you already know.
Whoa, yeah, like we were all doing backflips from the fucking day. Playing Mario, doing backflips over the couch. If you did literally anything, at least in my house, like to damage the furniture, or like in any way, like
I'd
start
be grounded
roughhousing,
forever.
yeah, you go, shit, dude, what the fuck are you doing? This kid's doing, no.
Play Dr. Mario on Game Boy.
Oh, I remember this one. This commercial, rather. He struck his head because it always reminded me of Beetlejuice. This is very like Tim Burton-esque.
And then
He struck my head. That's how many times I've seen that commercial.
Word. What is the word?
Moon? Oh, whoa, yeah, like everybody's gonna play fucking Pictionary with the D-pad? Look at all these adult nerds.
Nintendo introduces Anticipation. It brings the board game into the video age.
You gotta have fun. Play
But
word. Guess the word.
Anticipation.
Look at it's just like a bunch of nerdy adults on the cover. We've all seen this, like, at these video game stores. I'm not telling tales out of school.
Last week, Harley and I reviewed Ultra Enviroman. Whack!
It's like the virtual
got to
Pictionary.
Those dudes were
So today,
very
we're gonna
cool.
take a
These
look
guys
at
are very
Battletoads.
cool. Whoa!
That it is.
It's
they
the
got
fucking
psycho
90s!
pills.
Battletoads, bitch! You'll kill your best friend, and it will ruin it in real life.
How can you go wrong? You're
How
getting
can
a freak
you go
for
wrong?
Battletoads and these other games from Trade West, Nintendo Entertainment.
It will
and Game
literally
Boy
drive you
System
insane and ruin your childhood friendships. Because you'll tell them to stop, and they'll tell you that they're not trying, but it'll be so consistent you'll have to disbelieve them.
A dragon's tail,
Like what we
a fork,
played.
and magic herbs.
Yeah, it's
Use wisdom and
fucking
cunning to
impossible.
choose that
Friendly
command
fire
for the
sucks.
dragon
Whoever
war is
invented that
endless.
was an idiot.
Horrible and treacherous
What a
means
hitbox on
will
that's
guard
friendly.
the evil one's island castle.
What
Are
is
you ready,
this?
young one?
Yes, King Lord.
And so begins a new epic, Dragon Warrior.
What does it look like? Oh yeah. I think I played that.
Get ready for the most challenging Nintendo system ever.
Ready? Let's do it.
The new Power Pad.
Oh,
It's only
whoa.
available in Nintendo's new Power Set. Now you're playing with body power. You gotta run, jump, fast.
I had a set of those Dance Dance Revolution pads. I'm not gonna lie about that.
You are the game. You are the power. Now you're playing with power.
God damn it! I put in some hours on that game. Holy shit!
Games only in
Like thinking back on it, just slumber parties that were
Flying
nothing
around
but
the planet
non-stop
next
dance
door, minding my own
marathons.
business
Just
when
sweat.
this flesh snake gets on my tail. I say, hey, buddy, I'm just trying to do a job here. Next thing I know,
I say,
he
hey,
slams
I'm
my
walking
body
here,
into a
buddy, on the
big
moon,
body.
buddy.
Let's go.
Got deliveries.
Now I gotta fly this jetpack to the mothership and get a new
To the
pod. Then I gotta
mother-
keep searching for this golden warp ship thing scattered over like 12 planets. Give me a break. What kind of sicko thought this game up?
I gotta go. Solar Jetman, new from Trade West. No one said it was going to be
Tony
easy.
says, I loved Dragon Warrior.
Imagine what a newcomer can do to
was
transform the
again
home you
so
love.
out of
Zerta Painters is
literally everything.
You may
Video
have won the
game-wise, I
battle
was
in
getting
Konami's Top
hand-me-downs
Gun, but you haven't won the
my
war.
entire career up until like PlayStation, where I
Top
could
Gun, the second mission. You'll
actively
have to
get
hone
it
your
because I
skills
had a job.
one-on-one against a foe or the computer in preparation for the flight of your life as you test your skills, rolling
These
and looping
flying
your way
games
through a
too.
all-out barrage
I've tried
from
them
the air,
all
land,
throughout the
and sea.
generations,
Top
and they
Gun,
just
the
don't grab
second
me.
mission
But I
for
feel like they
Nintendo.
should because they
Take more than
look
guts
fun.
to get out alive.
But it's like with avocados with me. I know that everybody talks about how great they are, and I keep trying them, and then I keep going. Yeah.
Based on a blockbuster movie.
This game is good, but it is hard. Total Recall, the game, is crazy hard, but they fucking all are because they're only 4 levels long.
From SNK.
I had one flying game for the 64 called Pilot Wings.
Yeah, my friend Sean had Pilot Wings, and we played the shit out of that. It was so awesome to move in a 3D space with just wings and no constraints.
I hated it.
Why? Because you get drowned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play on the
It's odd how you would drown flying, but
Up to the challenge.
That's why I didn't like the pirate ship world in Super Mario 64. Because you drown.
yeah.
I avoided the shit out of it. I never beat the game because I would not do the pirate ship one.
Simulated water is very rare.
Well, he like holds his throat and he's like,
Yeah, like what do you want to do? He's drowning.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, that's why you're enticed not to drown by getting through it quickly.
Yeah, I wasn't good at that.
Hello and
That's
welcome
why
to
you're
the
supposed to
Caveman
practice.
Games.
There was a
Let's go
giant
down to
eel
the main
and it
toss.
scared me.
First spinning is made.
Kid.
Nice bounce, Crudla.
What?
Sounds like it's time for clubbing. There's the finger fake. Yes!
Like, this is insane.
Now for the dino ball. Eat it!
What?
No post-game interview there.
Caveman Games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. You get paid.
This is fucking crazy. Hide your cookies? I don't know almost any of these games, nor have I seen most of these commercials. It is insane. I remember this game at least. There were so many, oh my god, Nintendo had so many of these puzzle games. And I would always go in and you'd get fooled by them. Because Yoshi, oh, you think, oh man, I want to ride Yoshi. No, it's like some crappy puzzle game. Dr. Mario, you go like, oh man, maybe he shoots pills. No, it's a goddamn Tetris derivative. I don't like being teased. Yeah, but don't give me a mascot. Like, tell me it's a fucking puzzle game. That's how they get it. And then a relative will get it for you because they go, oh, you like, I recognize this cartoon from somewhere.
Right,
I give you this game. And you go, fuck, it's a fucking puzzle game.
Now you're playing with power.
Unless that's your jam, in which case you need to get help.
Just playing a video game. Live it. Swords and Serpents takes you to a new world where you become one of a band of super warriors.
I mean, Tetris is fun. I just didn't like the hornswoggle. Tetris told you what it was.
Right, yeah.
You must gain experience and power by defeating the evils of the dark.
So many sweaty, oily dudes in these video game commercials. Like it's 2-to-1 dude to chick in all of these at least.
Swords and Serpents on your NES.
Sometimes it's just dude.
Well, back in that time, I don't think they were really pushing female.
No, this was still, again, like we talked about this in the podcast, dude, like why I didn't expect you to see Terminator 2. Like I wouldn't have expected, like no girl I knew in grade school or even expand that to almost any time in my life played video games. Like it's just, there are some things that still don't culturally click for some huge sections of the population.
Yeah.
There's Rob the Robot. Oh, have a sleepy experience.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
Who's Kirby? Behind the flabby facade, a physical powerhouse. A street fighter. A weapons expert. He's whatever the situation demands. In Kirby's Adventure, evil King Dedede's stolen Dreamland's dreams. Now Kirby's fighting to get him back. Level by nightmarish level. That's Kirby. He's cute. Till you cross him, then he's one.
I'm trying to...
Kirby's Adventure.
It's lost. There we go. Hold on, I'll fix it. What are we doing here? It's Ferrari, I think. These are so low res. Like, VHS was bad, but not this bad. These are bad rips.
Okay, so I gotta rescue my uncle, but I'm not too sure how to find him, so I can go to this island, right? First I gotta talk to
yeah, this is actually a pretty fun game. I played this recently on the Raspberry
and then I'm
Pi.
helping these dolphins, and all the time I'm sticking through graveyards and shooting zombies and blasting monsters.
Star Tropics.
And the next thing I know, I'm cruising inside a whale.
Whoa, dude, this is totally radical.
Every chapter's like another
When the 90s come back, and they will, I hope that voice comes back with it. This one. Whoa, dude. I fucking love that shit. Yeah, like the surfer dude was huge in the 90s. Like being dumb was something to aspire to.
We didn't have a lot of like. Well, I guess I wasn't. When I was in like high school, end of middle school, it was more like the 2000s.
Yeah.
And it was more like punky / emo /
Yeah, but yeah, I lived through that too. But thank God I was on the beginning stages of it and I could leave it.
Yeah.
Like this was like classic Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure. Like every character that was like whoa all the time. I thought it was hilarious. I hope it comes back.
I feel like it's already starting. But it's like a mix.
Oh, boy, I love this game too. We had this on computer. Oh, it's so fun.
I had it on the 64.
Try it at home.
Oh, just nailing the old ladies or the strollers or anybody you could nail with a paper. Oh man.
Behold the works of Gabriel von Sancho.
I didn't realize there was a scoring system for it, so I was just nailing people with papers. Yeah.
Dance of the anarchists.
I would just get paper and I'd be like,
Did
hey.
you have unlimited papers?
No, you had to pick up the big packets of it and avoid the Grim Reapers and everybody, but it was awesome.
He spent less and less time in the studio. He was never the same. Consider Man
Art?
with Dog.
Ultima Exodus for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Once you start playing, nothing else matters.
What?
Did you see the latest Nintendo newsletter?
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
You mean you haven't played it yet? We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System. It's The Legend of Zelda, and it's really rad.
Legend
Those
of
creatures
Zelda.
from Ganon are pretty bad. Octorok's Tech-Tykes levers, too.
Whoa.
But with your help, our hero pulls through. Yeah, go Link, yeah, get
This
some.
is weird.
Yeah. Intense.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Your parents help you hook it up.
I like
The
all the
Legend of
rapping
Zelda sold
in this.
separately.
Yeah, like
Introducing Bases Loaded 2
rapping
second
was
season.
literally everywhere for a
This is
while.
the Major League
It
action
was
you've been
just,
waiting
like
for.
one of the Beach
So
Boys released a
authentic,
rap
you have to
album.
manage your teams
Yeah,
based on your
but,
player's condition. So real, it puts you right in the game.
He released the weird, I think it was all about
Bases Loaded
vegetables.
2 second season for the
I
Nintendo
could be
Entertainment
wrong on
System.
that, but I'm pretty sure
Take the
he did
excitement
release a
on the
rap
road
album.
with Bases
Some of
Loaded
them
for the Nintendo
titles
Game
where I
Boy
can
from
type
Jericho.
in.
Live action that never
Yeah, right, with the fucking hair.
You can keep on top of these California
Flat tops
games.
were nerd cuts, but I always had one, and that's why I always gelled it, because I was associated because a nerd had a fuzzy flat top, and a cool dude had a gelled one. So I associated the fuzzy look with nerd. So you're right.
BMX Race World.
Was that the 2000s?
It's like the real deal.
That was like Corey was like the nerd, and
Master all
Sean
six.
was
You'll be like
the
king of the
cool.
beach.
Yeah, Corey had
California
curly.
games for the Nintendo.
Curly flat top. Kind of.
Flat
Well, it
top?
wasn't a flat top, but it was curly. So, but he was
Yeah, but
the
it's
nerd.
yeah, but it's a completely different ball game then. Curly hair is out of the realm when it comes to fuzzy and or not, because it doesn't matter. You can't have a flat top with curly hair.
Are a Nintendo
I mean, you
wizard.
can, but it looks
If
weird.
you
No one
are
does
ready
it.
for the ultimate Nintendo challenge,
Really?
then
Just
meet
thinking
the
about it, it's
challenge of the
not cute.
legacy, the legacy of the wizard, the most
Something like
challenging
that.
adventure of all time. Choose a character, Choose your weapons and enter a world of castles, dungeons, treasure, mazes,
It's so
monsters,
crazy.
and magic. Your desperate mission is to
Just
find
the
and defeat
stark
the most powerful
contrast
dragon in
in these
history.
visuals.
Legacy of the
And
Wizard.
what is
only
said
for your
about them
Nintendo
still?
Entertainment
It
System.
is wild to me, especially because I didn't see it as a kid. Like, I didn't have this drilled into me to this degree anyway. Oh. Wow. Yeah, I really missed out on this cultural boom, man. Like,
Nintendo Power 12 times a year.
woof.
6 great issues plus 6 free strategy guides on a hot new game. That's twice the power for still $15. Wow, call now.
Mario!
What the hell are we doing as kids? Riding bikes and shit?
Not going outside.
Yeah, we were in the park. This whole culture blooming, and I was completely ignorant of it.
Super
I mean,
Mario.
I've obviously come to terms with
1, 2,
latter
and 3.
day,
There's
but
power in
it
numbers.
still sometimes
Nintendo.
really gets to me that, like, this was going on, and I had no fucking idea that, like, it was such an impactful thing. I just thought it was something that some kids had, because some of my friends had an NES or an SNES or a Genesis or whatever, and some didn't, and I was like, yeah, you know, maybe it's just like something that isn't a big thing. And little did I know it was like defining like huge portions of the population's childhoods and or experiences in life.
Yeah, my uncle on my dad's side had an I think it was an SNES, and that was the one I used to play Mario and Mortal Kombat on that. But all my friends or neighbors all had PlayStations because they played Resident Evil like the very early days, and my cousins had Final Fantasies. That's it.
But that's a different generation now too, because like by then everything was firmly established. Like by the PlayStation, the N64, like that was mega. Like you could not ignore that shit because they had become cultural icons to the point where like even a person like me with their head in a hole could have found out, and like because everybody had them. It wasn't like one person may or may not, or you might have a friend here or there. You might get one for Christmas or whatever. It was just like yeah, everybody had one.
Yeah, I've literally never seen a Nintendo Power when I was a kid.
Yeah, but everybody had an N64 or a PlayStation. That's when it's like sunk its teeth into everybody. I feel like for me anyway.
I feel like I was like 11 when I got the 64. Like it was new. My grandfather got it for me for Christmas or my birthday or something.
When you're ready for a real challenge, you're ready for Marble Madness. There are deadly steelies, marble munchers, acid pools, digital waves, vacuum cleaners, catapults, pistons, pounding hammers.
I used to play this. My cousin had an NES. And I'd play, like, my aunt would play this and Tetris. And it was always so weird to me. I was like, you're so old. Why are you playing this? And she was probably, I don't know, in her 30s at the time. And so now it seems like completely reasonable that it would happen. But like as a child, I would see my aunt playing video games, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because my parents couldn't care less.
Right.
Didn't they have a single shit?
Yeah, my parents never played.
Tetris 2.
It's not just Tetris. Now
It's
challenge the
Tetris
system or
twice.
go head to head. Different shapes, different shades, and this time there's
Different
bombs in
shapes
it.
and colors. The only two things that they have access to, basically.
Hey, the 64 version of Tetris used to have, if you made a certain number of
Master Higgins is
squares,
back in Adventure Island
it
2.
turned like goopy, where it was like metallic.
Oh yeah, there were so many like Bubble
This time,
Bobble
he's
and
not
all
alone
those
in his
derivatives.
quest to save
There
his
was
beloved.
one that my friend Sean had that was like an import from Japan, and so it was all in Japanese. So you just had to like look it up, and thank God the internet finally existed, because we had to look up how to work this thing. And all of their catchphrases are in Japanese, and it was so much fun. We would play it for hours and hours and hours. It was. But it's like, you know, that's what Tetris did to everybody. And all this did was just turn it upside down and shoot you one blob at a time.
His prehistoric friends
But,
will
you know,
help Higgins
that
defeat his
mechanic got old,
fiendish
and
foes.
sometimes it grabs you again. And then
Adventure
Peggle
Island
hits.
2, the premier action
Yeah,
adventure game
but that's, you know, sort of
by
waned. And
Hudson
so
Soft.
we move through these small mechanics. They're like those toys you get at the dentist office. If you've been a good boy, you get to reach into the treasure chest.
The vile alien warlord from Konami's for Nintendo.
Yeah.
He never made it past.
Thanks for not barfing on me this time. Last time, sorry.
This one never had a chance against my vicious genetic space freaks. And they were no match for my invincible eighth-level invasion. See how far you can get in Super C. You never know where you might end up.
Toys R Us. Damn it, I still miss them so much.
When you get hold of the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Not recently. It's going on like 5 years now. It was before we moved and before. Oh, so sad. I miss Toys R Us.
I went there before. Yeah.
When you play the system with
There are no more stores dedicated to toys. They've all just been absorbed into Targets and Walmarts. There's no. It sucks, man. Sometimes, as a surprise and for no reason, my grandfather would pick us up from school during grade school and even like in junior high a couple of times, which was weird, but also appreciated. Like he would just be in the parking lot. I'd see his car and he'd like wave and I go, "What's going on?" He's like, "Get in the car. We're going to Toys R Us." And so like, I don't know, once or twice a month he would just roll up onto the school and we'd go to Toys R Us and like he'd say, "Get one of something." Like within reason, I couldn't get a bike or a Power Wheels or shit.
Get a video game
but like
system.
that's how I got almost all of my awesome action figures. Like everything I had, I got from that basically. And even so much as like they were selling these little dioramas. They're probably 4x4 squares that were all Nintendo scenes. And I had the Mario one. These were things that I knew of, but did not know the cultural deepness of. But all my cool Ninja Turtle figures, I got through that, this experience, because like you never knew when Grandpa would show up in the parking lot and you'd see the red protege and he'd be there fucking craziest. So he was a chain smoker. And in Arizona, it'll be fucking 120 degrees in the summer. So, ramping up, depending on whatever time of year, was always hilarious. To see him in his car, AC off, window open, 120 degrees outside. No, cardigan on.
Oh my God.
Or like a nice canvas jacket. Never broke a fucking sweat.
Well, that's my grandfather. When we moved out here, he had a Toyota. Those I don't want to say the little Toyotas that was like a baby blue color, and it was like little 2-wheel drive stick shift, and he never had AC. So whenever we would come out here to visit, it was always summer break.
Oh, he had AC. My grandpa.
Yeah. So he didn't.
Well, that's the thing. Like he sat in it and that was the thing. The engine would be running, so it wasn't like he was not whatever.
Yeah.
But as soon as we got in, he would turn the AC on. But he would sit there and just cook because old people can't generate heat, so he would soak it up like a lizard. And then we go to Toys R Us, and then we go to Dairy Queen half the time too.
Nice.
Just like as a fucking surprise. Like, oh my God.
Well, that's like something that you'd like be excited to, because you would never know when he showed up. So it's like, okay, you're like going through the school day and you're like, oh, maybe Grandpa will be here today.
Well, yeah, and it was always long enough that you knew it wasn't like, and you'd forget about it. He knew, he probably had it planned.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, oh, you get sort of bummed and whatever. And it's seriously, like, aside from, because I didn't have much of an allowance and my parents weren't like super interested in getting me the things I wanted. Like that was just like
the thing.
So all of my stuff, all of the cool stuff that I got that didn't end up like in the, in the back that never got touched were usually from these.
Arcade Arsenal, RoboCop and Bad Dudes for Nintendo.
Bad Dudes is not a good game, ironically. RoboCop's okay.
Machine.
Oh yeah, Rob the Robot was basically, it used visual cues from the flashing lights of your TV to move around and move either gyroscopes or blocks. It was slow and ineffective and sucked. But it was a good gimmick, so it got people to buy the Nintendo.
Robot, of course.
Oh yeah.
The battle of wizards and warriors continues with iron swords. Malkill will take on the shape of the earth, wind, water, and fire. The fate of the world is in your hands.
He looks like Deathstalker.
For your Nintendo Entertainment System from Acclaim. Double Dragon 2.
Oh my God, this is another one of those fucking relentless games. All the All the Double Dragon games are so unforgiving. It is, even as an adult now, with a dedication towards patience, those things fucking break my ass, and I get so angry. This guy's giving me like Robert Englund vibes. It's like Freddy before he got burned. Oh, he kind of looks like Ronnie Cox too. Skater guy. Oh my god.
Punch Out by Nintendo.
Finally!
11 world-class contenders. Take them down with
Is
your
this really
controller,
Mike Tyson?
beat them all, and you've got
Oh,
a
probably
shot
not for
at
most of the
Tyson's
commercial.
title.
No.
But for that, you've got to beat
I'll
Mike
buy it.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see Mike Tyson
Mike
punch the
Tyson's
dude on the
Punch Out
airplane?
from Nintendo. Now
I
you're
did.
playing with power.
But he's always been sort of a wild card, so.
Well, the guy was harassing him supposedly, like, in his face for the longest time, and he finally just stopped him.
Oh, sure. Like, there's some people out there who are just looking for a fight, and there are dudes out there who built a reputation like Mike Tyson, and he's probably changed now. But there are some numbnuts out there who still want to ring his bell.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want to get their clock cleaned.
Yeah.
Super
And
Mario
be like,
Bros. 3 from
I got punched by
Nintendo.
Mike Tyson on the plane
Now
today.
you're playing with power.
Super Mario Brothers 3 was one game that we did have, and that just clicked with me and my brother. We played so much, and it's like, because well, number one, you can help each other, but number two, you can also continually fuck each other over if you didn't want to do a level. You force the other person to do it. It was awesome.
See, I never had somebody else
Yeah, that was the thing too. Once if not all more parties are willing, then it's kind of a thing.
Here comes Yoshi, and he's up against Goombas, Groovers, Pooh Buddies, and Piranha
But it's a fucking puzzle game, so don't get your hopes up, kids.
Match the creatures and wipe
Yeah.
them out. Play alone or with a friend, but mix them and you won't stand
And I would always get so excited. I'd be like, oh my god, maybe this. Maybe they would have one at Bookman's or whatever, and I can buy it used. Oh my god, heartbreaking. Saved up my money forever, my measly allowance, to get a Game Boy from Bookman's, a used one. And they had, by the grace of God, a copy of the Ninja Turtles. And I could afford them both. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is finally happening. Because I've been saving up for so long. Bought it, paid for it, got home, put the batteries in, put the game in, turned it on. 4 lines of pixels throughout the screen, completely dead. And I brought it back and I was fucking heartbroken. And then to find out, oh, we can't give you a refund. We can give you store credit. We can give you A brand, or they had A and B brand store credit. I think we give you all the money back on store credit for A. And I was like, did you get another Game Boy in? They're like, no. So
So you have a game, but no Game Boy.
yeah, and I couldn't prove which was broken, so they took them both back.
But you didn't have either then.
Yeah, and so then I just had a bunch of credit, and I kept saving it for time after time we go back, and it never happened again. And so I ended up buying a bunch of shitty books.
Joe says he was introduced to Mario 3 on Game Boy Advance. I only had a Game Boy Color.
I had it on NES, man. We had the OG shit, that cart.
I used to play the shit out of a Speedy Gonzales game on Game Boy Color.
The kids my mom babysat had the Super Nintendo, so we'd play a bunch of Super Mario World or whatever. And then my weird neighbor had one, so we'd play Super Mystic Ninja, which I still love.
Joe said their labeling was so weird on Game Boy Advance. Mario Advance 1 and Mario 2, Advance 2, and Super Mario World 3 was Yoshi's Island, and 4 was Mario 3.
Who would have thought that if you make the same game 400 fucking times, it would be confusing after a while?
Each sold separately. Will you be the one to experience the Nintendo Entertainment System? Comes
With
with
Rob the
Zephyr,
Robot, and then
Control
be
Deck, 2
wildly
controllers,
disappointed.
Gyromite, and Duck Hunt.
But Duck Hunt was awesome. I played the shit out of some Duck Hunt.
In our test sector, world-renowned experts played
Strangely
Disney's new
addictive.
Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers game from Capcom. Here's what they say.
Way
cool.
Definitely rad.
to help Chip and Dale escape their enemies and rescue their good friend Gadget.
Look at the flip-up sunglasses. This shit is totally rad. Are you kidding me?
Play Disney's Rescue Rangers game for Nintendo by Capcom.
Oh my god.
Also, look for
Did I
Adventures in the
love...
Magic Kingdom.
Okay, the Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. So goddamn hard. I still cannot make it past the Pirates of the Caribbean or the Haunted Mansion. Literally cannot do it. As an adult, I've been playing that game now on and off for close to 40 years, and I cannot beat that goddamn game. Space Mountain, fine. Autopia, fine. Big Thunder Mountain, no problem. Fucking the 999 ghosts in the Haunted Mansion, those goddamn endless pits, and then you have to jump from floating chair to floating chair, and it is like you're starved for ammo because you throw candles at the ghosts to kill them, and then the pirates are everywhere, and they're all dressed like Smee, and they have the same beards, and it's just so, again, unrelenting. And then again, this is one of those times where like unlimited continues wasn't a thing. So you had 4.
Yeah, I can't even get through the questions.
Oh yeah, the questions were also my favorite part because they were like the easiest thing to do. It was so easy to get 5 out of the 7. But those last 2 were such ball-busting fuckers. I never, ever beat that game despite years of attempts.
Action was blazing in Zelda. The adventure was a blast with Link. Now
Zelda never got me.
I played Zelda. I want to say it was on the Game Boy.
For me, it takes a very special type of RPG, and I'm also not into the sword and sorcery side of fantasy.
I never played it like correctly. I used to just run around and like tear the bushes down and get the chickens.
You decide.
Yeah, like when we'd go over to like a relative's house who had one, they had this Zelda, like I would busy myself with it, but I was like,
Air Fortress from HAL America. The game that pits you against
I didn't really get into trying to beat a game until Pokemon. Or like really like invested.
Yeah, me either for the longest time because I had Atari for so long. And you don't beat those things necessarily.
I love Mario 64. That one, I do have to say, I tried like to get through all the other worlds. Pokemon was really when it became invested.
I wasn't invested until like
in Mario Kart. I had to get all 5 stars on all of them.
The one that really drove home the fact of like finishing games. I've told this story before, but Twisted Metal 2, because 1, nice, great gameplay, awesome, but all of the cutscenes were just scrolling text. So by 2 rolls around, when Mel McMurrin is playing Calypso and you have those semi-animated cutscenes, they drew me in insanely quickly for some reason. I don't know if it was the style of the way they had to cut corners on the disc, but they're like moving paper dolls almost. And I don't know. I was just like, oh my God, now I have to play with every character to the end, which was a bitch because you've got super easy characters like Warthog and the dude in the Corvette, I think his name is Spectre, who basically shoot homing missiles, and Warthog has homing missiles. Awesome. Layup. That's his special. They regenerate. Spectre had homing missiles that were fucking ghosts that would pass through the levels, no clipping style, and hit the nearest person like a blue fucking shell.
Oh.
So you got sweet cakes like that all the way to a motorcycle and a tractor whose special ability is they grab the car in front of them and smash them around, which is almost fucking useless because how often in a
catch up to them.
Yeah. And you're just going to come across one who's like parked by the side of the road taking a nap, and you're like, they're going to let them smash you up with your fucking bucket.
Yeah.
But I put in the effort and VHS videotaped all of the endings. God knows where it is now, and I miss it. That would be a real piece of nostalgia right there.
Joe says Super Mario Brothers Deluxe was probably the first game I committed to. Super Mario World on Game Boy Advance was the first I ever 100%ed.
Oh God, I don't think I've ever 100%ed anything to this day. At least I can remember.
If you consider getting like all 5 whatever gold stars on the 4 Mario Kart races, I did that, but that's not.
That's not 100% of the game. So no, I don't think anyone would consider that, right? Is this the first 4 races, or are you talking about the whole 4 circuits?
The 4 circuits.
So every race in every circuit.
Yeah.
Well, why'd you say the first 4?
Well, I meant because it was in 4 sections. That's what I.
If there's only 4, why say the first 4? Right? Because there's only 4 cups, right? The mushroom cup.
The 4 cups, yes. There's the 4 cups.
The first 4 cups. You mean?
I like the cow one. The cow race with the prairie dogs that pop up too with the cows around the farm.
I played myself a fucking country mile of Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh yeah.
With Sean, and it was a fucking blast. The only thing I don't know why Nintendo does this or did this, because every other game would let you go hog wild. Like Jet Moto would let you do as many laps as you wanted. Nintendo was like 3.
Yeah.
So by the time you were getting competitive and the juices were flowing, it was like race over. Like you couldn't hit your stride until like lap 2 3/4.
Yeah. What was there was a jet ski game on the 64. It wasn't Jet Moto.
Wave
Racer.
Wave Racer.
Yeah,
Wave
I
Racer
liked
64.
that game.
And the GameCube one was phenomenal. Oh my God, Wave Race like Dark Water or whatever it was. I don't remember. I played a shit ton of that too. I probably still have the disc because I've got my GameCube over there somewhere. It was so fun. And the water, again, maybe not again. I don't know if I said this, but I was thinking it. It was like touted as the most realistic water ever. And I was like, on the GameCube? Ha ha, it's so stupid. I haven't seen it in a while, but when I saw it back then, it blew my fucking mind how real the water was, especially being the last interaction with that being Jet Wave Race 64. And seeing that triangular monstrosity
that, weird,
that you...
the peaks of the waves were
that
terrible.
you were like rolling along. Oh my God, it was a nightmare.
Joseph's in the first Pokemon game. He had focus and attention span was for Pokemon Sapphire.
I played fucking Blue.
All of them, yeah.
I had Blue and I picked Bulbasaur, obviously the best.
How can you get
Pokemon.
all the thrills of Gauntlet
I don't know
2
why
at
I
your
had
very own
blue,
home?
red. I had the 2, and then I had yellow also. Those
Yeah,
are the 3.
I had Blue. My friend had red, and then everybody had yellow. Because, like, yeah, obviously.
Just pick up the new NES version, Gauntlet 2, with all the graphics, sound, and features
And
of the
holy
arcade
shit,
original.
was that, again, that
From
loop of
Mindscape.
freshness of catching and
Start changing right before your eyes.
building up Pokemon for me. I love the idea of building up characters, so Pokemon hit that like heroin.
When the whole world seems transformed.
And it still gets me every once in a while, because I'll cave and we'll used to wander into Toys R Us and we get the latest one.
Challenges the mind and puzzles the imagination. No other
But now it's jumped ship, because now it's on the Switch, right? There's no more like actual handheld Pokemon.
I don't know.
Typing Square? Joe? I'm pretty sure, right?
Supersonic is the #1 bet. It's got no wires.
But then like the Switch is portable now, and it's like what? How much is a Switch? $500, $300?
Do you have to have the whole thing, or is it?
Well, they sell a Switch Lite, which apparently you can download just virtual games onto, which is like whatever. But I don't know. Like when would right? Triangular controller.
Joe says the stream has been a blast. It's so fun to see Dave just light up about the old commercials.
These are so crazy, and they bring back a bunch of memories, obviously, because like they're laden with references that I get because they're from society, but like this content is fucking a disconnect for me completely.
Oh, the question was, is Pokemon on anything but the Switch currently? Like,
oh yeah, has it gone from handhelds like the 3DS or whatever that is to now just is the Switch going to be their only thing? I think Nintendo's been getting smaller. And by now, God, the Switch has been out forever. Like, remember the Wii? Has it waned?
We have a Wii. It's the old, like, first Wii.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, that was big and then it waned. Has the Switch waned yet enough? Or whatever.
What's next?
Man, Mario 2 was so crazy because it just felt so weird. And now, obviously, getting the backstory as an adult, I was always like, what? Why and how is this happening? But I don't know. My cousins were weird, so I always tied it to that somehow. Like, I just figured that, like, because I owned Mario, the first Mario, and the third, and my cousins owned the second, and I thought somehow, like, they had made it weird. Like, that wasn't a fully fledged thought, but I was like, why do they have the weird one? Like, the 1 and 3 made sense to me, but they're weird and they have 2.
They only had the second one, and
They
now
only
all
had the
three?
second one,
Yeah.
and it was weird. I go, is this your fault? I wanted to be like, yeah, it's probably them.
Not anymore. It's only the Switch. And the
Yeah.
difference between Switch and Switch Lite is that the Switch Lite is smaller and can't be docked to a TV. It's only handheld. So it's basically the Game Boy
Right.
Advance.
So, yeah, they're basically working themselves out of the Game Boy entirely, like that model. I don't know, man.
But can the games be sent from your Switch Lite to your Switch? Like, can you?
I know because it's its own system.
Oh,
like
it's
that's
just
Yeah,
that.
that's the thing. Like they're slowly losing whatever they are.
Wow.
Yeah, because like if their handheld is essentially the Switch Lite, and the system you can actually plug into a TV is essentially the same thing, just with an extra port.
I feel like things started going downhill for Nintendo when they started the Wii, and basically majority of their games, aside from like Mario Galaxy, which was a super fun game to watch, was like tailored toward kids, like little kids.
Well, everybody goes through growing pains, and everybody is. I think consoles are a thing of the past. Like there are people who still are diehards of them. But by and large, even a regular computer, like you buy a $200 laptop now, it can play Steam games relatively well. And that's a bevy of just shit that is accessible to anybody with a keyboard in front of them, essentially.
Yeah, and you can. I mean, there are like so many like indie, like so many awesome indie games that you can only.
That's the thing.
there.
Like back in the day, you had so few choices, and now it's like the world is your oyster in literally anything you want to get into. And that's what's nice about these old commercials too, is it shows you like, holy shit. Like when you released a video game, you had to have a huge thing. Now everybody, like daily indie video game releases are happening to almost no fanfare, no acclaim, no commercial, no nothing. Just a wish and a prayer and a bottle thrown into an ocean. And but it was inevitable, I guess, because here we are. But it's still so wild, and all of these.
He
so
says,
crazy.
The Switch is great. The worst part is that it's Nintendo and they make bonkers decisions.
Oh, really?
Say what?
No.
Mario Galaxy was super cool though. When my ex-boyfriend, he used to play it all. Like he used to ignore me and play it all the time. And when I would watch it, it was really cool. It was like not 3D, but it made it look like.
Yeah, they do, like, that's the thing. They do innovative things, but with old ass shit. Like, okay, so the first and only Star Fox that I like, so this is like only liking Halloween 3, but I liked the Star Fox on the GameCube that was more like a latter-day Zelda, if you will. Like it was over the shoulder, third person. You're running around with a staff and beating up and running with dinosaurs, and it was very cool. And you were collecting bugs and talking to trees, and it just grabbed me for whatever reason. But it was by and large hated because the first two Star Foxes had been, shoot 'em up in the sky rail shooters. And this was like a semi-open world, but mostly linear path, like thing, the dinosaur world.
Yeah.
And I loved that game. Oh my God. I tried playing it today, and the controls are way too far removed from modernity.
I wish when Monster Rancher was a thing, I wish I knew about it.
It was awesome.
Is that was GameCube?
That was PlayStation.
Or PlayStation. Oh, okay.
That
I didn't
started-
have one. Yeah,
maybe even before. It was early. Like I love that game.
like did that just become Pokemon? Like did it
It was one of those things that like rose with it.
It would have been
Pokemon,
cool if they kept
Digimon,
going.
Monster Rancher. There was a bunch of those that were in the zeitgeist where you're like hanging out and monsters were your friends essentially. But yeah, it's with the loss of physical media, like that was their gimmick. Like you would in the show, you would find these stones and raise a monster, and those stones were analogous to CDs. So you'd pop in a Shania Twain CD, and there'd be a worm or a dino or a golem or whatever. But with the loss, then what is the gimmick? I'll touch upon, Joe, you were talking about this too. The fucking Pokewalkers, they're real. Like, they're a real, quote unquote. They're part of, like, they're objects that you can interact with physically. And that says something to the human brain. Like, there's an extra piece. There's buttons. You're getting some tactile feedback. It'll beep, and you have to, oh, whoa, this is kind of interesting. That's sort of gone with all this, with going everything digital, and now everything is an app. We're losing a little bit of that tactile experience. And as a side note, I did some shooting, like photography today, and it was nice to get back into that, to have a tactile experience and break away from my phone a little bit. Yeah, have buttons and dials and stuff. It was nice to sort of work through that. And that's, I think no matter where you or when you are born, there's something to be said for that, like, feeling of moving something, and because swiping a screen, there's nothing visceral about that.
Yeah, that's why, like, whenever we play a video game together or whatever, it's nice to not just be on my phone playing, auto chess or whatever, because it's... Yeah,
because you're just sliding around, and there's nothing defines reality. Like in a video game, the video game uses parameters, and let's say the two joysticks on your Xbox or your PlayStation controller, there's a finite limit of movement. On a phone, you could slide off, up, down, left to right, and unless you're like highly tuned motor skills, which is fine. Like, I'm not knocking that. You can totally do that. And if I wanted to, I could. But I like having the feedback physically, because it just feels more satisfying. And I also like, if you're engaging more of your neurons in your hands, there's something to be said for that, possibly. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because, like, controllers went from essentially what our smartphones look like now with a couple of buttons on it to things that were molded for the shape of our hands.
Yeah.
And now we're backstepping into the phone, which is like, even worse than the original NES, because there's no tactile feedback at all.
Right. That's true.
So, whatever. The old days are old again, so here we are. We should probably wrap it up. We've been doing this a while, I feel, but it was very fun. Joe, I thank you for putting this together for us. We made it pretty far into the second video.
Yeah.
We'll have to do it again now that we've got the commercials turned off. The commercials for the commercials.
Right. Thank you.
Keeping the show afloat, Joe. I like it. So we'll do this again, definitely, and maybe do some regular 90s commercials. I want to get Scott back in over in the chairs to do some more stuff, maybe watch some more stop motion or whatever. Some Grindhouse, I think, would be appropriate.
Yeah, as long as we don't get shut down.
Well, I mean, Grindhouse trailers on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Grindhouse trailer, any kind of trailers, if you can find in mass, I feel are awesome. Like, because they're always going to be bad, because you don't put a bunch of good ones together, I feel.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we got tons to go. So, everybody who came by, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming by to this impromptu version of whatever this is, this live.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Dee Dee, Tony, Joe, everybody. It's been a blast. So, I guess until next time, you know how it goes. Here goes the... Yeah, I've been talking and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
For the try to